You know the statement, the grass is greener on the other side? It's very true for job search. A lot of job seekers and candidates think when they're looking for a different job that there's a lot of better opportunities out there and that there's greener pastures out there. The point of my video today is to kind of raise the question and the need to make sure that is indeed the truth and is not just your perception. Because a lot of the times what happens, we have this, oh yeah, it's better than my current job, the situation is better. You go through the interview process, you sign the contract, you start, and you're like, holy cow, this is not what I expected, and this is not the impression that I was given through the interview, and this is not the impression that I was sold by the hiring manager, and it's quite different than what I had expected. I don't know if you know anybody like that, but I've seen quite a few cases like that. I've had a story of a candidate that actually moved his family from a different continent to Singapore, only to find out that the hiring manager that hired him was leaving the position that he hired him for. And he knew whilst the interview process was going on that he would do that, and he didn't tell him. That also he found out that basically he's not going to get any team, and he was promised a team and a bunch of other things. So basically he was stuck with his family, moved from a different continent, and well, it wasn't a very pleasant situation, and he had to put up with it for a few years until he made the new move. Not very ethical as well. Another situation in which somebody I know went into a very large role, gave up her previous global position to move into a different position, only to find out, stepping into the organization, that the last two people that had done that role in the last 18 months had left. So it was basically an attrition rate of almost 6 to 9 months. Somebody was leaving that role, and basically she couldn't stay in the role as well for longer than 6 months, because it turned out to be a totally toxic type of environment and relationship with the hiring manager as well. Or there's companies that have a really strong brand, especially the ones that have a B2C element and consumer element to that. They have a very good brand, and as a consumer you really think, wow, this is a very neat company to work for and the culture must be great, but actually it's not. So when you enter the organization, you realize, oh my God, there is a big disconnect between what they are doing in terms of marketing and employer branding and what the reality is. So what I'm trying to come to this is, make sure you do your background check as a candidate on the company, on the culture, and on the hiring manager. It's just as important as companies doing their background check on the employees. So some of those things that you should do include, ideally, talk to somebody, talk to a few people within the company, talk to a few people that know the hiring manager directly, that can give you the culture of the company hands-on and at the source, because that's the best source of truth. Go on social media, of course, see the hiring manager, see the company, see the Glassdoor reviews, see anything that you can find around them, check their financials as well, because the last thing that you want to be doing is to come to a company that basically is going to get acquired or anything like that. And make sure that in general you have a very, very good understanding of what's it like, what's the culture like at that company, and what's the hiring manager like, because again, the grass is greener on the other side. Yes, sometimes it is true, but sometimes it isn't.